Hello and welcome to a brief tutorial, or rather brief tutorial, on the settings within Klaviyo, presented by Zach from Sandhill Digital. In this tutorial, we're going to go over the nuances of settings and what you may or may not want to have set up. So in Klaviyo, you're going to navigate to your name at the bottom left-hand corner, click on Settings, and you're going to arrive on this page. Personal, this is your personal information. You kind of get the point here, changing your password, all of that. Messaging, you can also change this as well. Domains, we don't have a domain set up here, but this is vital for any account, and this is your sending domain. You've heard lots of things about warming up your domain. You have to have a good domain validity and authority. This is where that comes into play here. So if your company was Google, it would be at Google, for instance, and this would be where you have the setup for that. Generally speaking, at this point, every account should have a domain set up unless this is brand new and you're just migrating to Klaviyo. API keys, this is your general API, your public one. This is going to be used for quite a few different things, especially during integrations. And then you can also create one-off private API keys that also are used for integrations and what have you, development. Default opt-in options, I always click double opt-in. It's recommended, obviously. Some people choose single opt-in for certain scenarios. I recommend against that, but in some situations, maybe if it's a list coming from Shopify, for instance, you may want to turn off double opt-in because they're already double opting in. But generally speaking, just leave this on. Down here, we're going to click security. This is the Authenticator app. Then you have all the different tags that are being used in Klaviyo for lists and campaigns and what have you. And then down here, you have test account. Doesn't really need to be changed. Over here, you have your billing, all of your account usage. You can see what's being used in the account and why and how it affects your billing. You have your preferences down here. All this stuff I kind of don't really need to go into too much, but you can see that all under billing. Under email, you also have your footer, which we're in a free account since it's the internal agency account, and this would not appear if you had a paid account that was branded. Sending preferences, you can also change the sending preferences. I always like to do this up to 24 usually. And you can also say ignore transactional messages. So allow people to receive transactional emails even if it's within the 24-hour period. So that's something that's very important too. Such as, your order is on its way, and other shipping information. Down here, I always like to click CSS Optimization. Some rare occasions, some developers may say not to, maybe based on your theme or whatnot. Tracking, I turn on email website tracking every time. I also do bottom up email, and that's by default as well. Here in SMS, this is all your SMS setup. We could discuss this in another tutorial though. Push notifications, if you have an app, this is where you'll find that as well, and that can be in another tutorial. Attribution is very important, but generally speaking, just leave it the way it is. But you could also exclude Apple Mail privacy protection as well in some instances if you wanted to tweak your data. Speaking of that, we have data over here now. I would not choose enable anonymous visitor tracking because you want to get as much data as you can, obviously, so you can market to them properly. You also have extended ID. I don't usually do this, but the option is there. You have your monitors as well. So this is maybe monitoring certain campaigns or different things of that nature. You can also do this in other platforms such as Litmus. We have another tutorial on consent pages because there's a lot there, but we also have web feeds. This is sort of like RSS. I don't really go into this that often, but we can do another tutorial on that. We have profile maintenance as well. We'll be doing that in another tutorial. But then I did want to discuss in this tutorial at greater length the UTM tracking. I, by default, turn on all 5 of these, and I will adjust them sometimes, but generally speaking, they look pretty good right now. And you can change these as you go. But if you have other external app platforms, such as Triple Whale, for instance, you will have to add other additional UTM parameters, and you'll have to type that in. Usually that platform gives you what those are. And then I sometimes turn on automatically add UTM parameters to links. You don't have to. But end of the day, UTM tracking is very important for how you monitor things within Google Search Console and Tag Manager. All of that jazz comes into play here with UTM tracking, so it's very important. And then back in stock reports, we can discuss this on a separate tutorial as well. But for now, I hope that brief tutorial on settings has been informative, and I look forward to chatting